Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us again. We're here today with Fanny Dayo from Al-Sashim, and she will tell you all about analytical methods of possible COVID-19 drugs in human plasma. Please don't hesitate to leave your comments or questions in the chat box on the right-hand side. And her colleague, Frank Chevalier, is also available in the chat to assist you with any of your questions. Then Fanny, please go ahead and good luck.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. First, let me thank you for attending this meeting and for the organization. I'm Fanny Dayo, analytical engineer at Al-Sashim, and today I will present you the method we developed for the simultaneous analysis of COVID-19 drug candidates in human plasma by LC-MS. If you have any question, Frank Chevalier, our business developer, will give you answer at the end of the presentation, but you can ask your question during the webinar. It's okay for us. So first, this is the agenda of the meeting. I will briefly introduce our company Al-Sashim and its activities. Then the context of the application of COVID-19 we developed, the product and technical aspect of the method we developed for the COVID-19, and some application not developed by in the group Shimadzu Group. So first, I will introduce our company. Al-Sashim is an organic synthesis company, expert in stable isotope labeled compound. We have 15 years experience in stable isotope chemistry. And over the last 15 years experience we have synthesized 8,000 products which are available in catalog, and half of them are labeled. 3 years ago, the company has been acquired by Shimadzu Group. The compounds we synthesize are used in different domains of analytical chemistry, such as pharmaceutical. Our standards are used for drug monitoring, metabolism, and more. In environmental, we provide reference compound for the detection and quantification of pesticide and other contaminants, food and beverage analysis, doping like steroid, and forensic testing. Our panel of solutions includes a catalog of reference standards labeled mainly with C13, N15 or deuterium. And Al-Sashim has also a strong expertise in custom synthesis. We delivered thousands of compounds to hospital, pharmaceutical companies, CRO, since the beginning of the company. Finally, we also propose diagnostic reagent kits to dose and monitor immunosuppressants, anticoagulants, and mycophenolic acid. And these diagnostic kits are used for quantification by LC-MS. You are all aware that since December 2019, the world has been hit by a pandemic. And I would like to expose briefly here the context of our work, why we decided to develop this method, this application of COVID-19. So in April 2020, this was the situation during the first wave of COVID-19 pandemic, following by Johns Hopkins University. During the first months of the pandemic, we observed a very fast spread of the virus worldwide, leading authorities to act quickly in order to stop the propagation. So lockdown, social distances, millions of masks, increased hospital capacity were some of the countermeasures taken to control and slow down the pandemic. If we look at the latest outbreak of infection disease, we can see that RNA single-chain virus were the most dangerous. There was already an outbreak of coronavirus in 2002, the SARS-CoV, or Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. Another virus more lethal is the Ebola virus. Its outbreak occurred from time to time and fortunately were controlled. 10 years ago, you remember the swine flu, and of course, HIV, identified 40 years ago, is still a hot topic since millions die every day. But today, let's focus on the current pandemic, which is COVID-19. In summary, health authorities had to deal with a virus which spread quickly and did not always trigger symptoms in infected patients. Developing a treatment takes about 10 to 12 years for small molecule and 1 to 3 years for a vaccine. So the decision to put on fast-track repurposed drugs has been granted. But the question is which molecule should be tested for this application. So in this histogram, we see the number of clinical trials for COVID-19 since 2000. The climax has been reached in April 2020. Few compounds were used in about 50% of all trials. And these compounds are mentioned here on the right side, like lopinavir, ritonavir, remdesivir, chloroquine, favipiravir, azithromycin, hydroxychloroquine, nafamostat, mesylate. And at Alzachim, all these standards and internal standards were available in March 2020. For your information, after April 2020, more trials has been started involving other experimental treatments. More than 280 trials concern a vaccine. So the problematic for the new treatment is to avoid high concentration leading to toxicity or lack of efficacy. It is essential to quickly set up dosage method to determine the optimal dose of this experimental treatment. From hospital, we receive a lot of urgent requests for standard and for method. And to support the global effort made by hospital, we understood and decided to quickly develop a method by LCMS with plasma sample to help them. So for your information, 6 months later, the situation is the following, with a high number of infected patients, from 3 million to 40 million, and over 1 million casualties and growing. We have to notice that compared to the number shown in April 2020, the numbers of casualties are not proportional to the number of cases detected, meaning that some treatments were effective. So now, after this context, I'm gonna talk about products used for our method and some detail of this application we developed against COVID-19. So first, we focused on these 9 molecules. based on study market and hospital request. So these 9 are lopinavir, ritonavir, remdesivir, JS44 1524, chloroquine, favipiravir, azithromycin, hydroxychloroquine, and desethylchloroquine. And for that, I have a question to ask you. You can have a pause in your right side of your screen. And maybe Frank will manage this pause.
So please just post the poll, and it's about actually your experience working with those compounds. If you could quickly answer, we will share the results in a few seconds when most of you have answered. Thank you.
So I will continue. So this molecule, you can see on this slide that all the molecules have very different size and chemical properties, and it was a challenge to make an application and analytical method with all the compounds in the same pool. So the method we developed concerning the protocol of the sample preparation is very easy. It consists on deproteinization with 200 microliter of methanol with containing the internal standard labeled, and then checking 1 minute, then centrifuge 7 minutes, and after we injected 5 microliter on LCMS. After the centrifugation, we make a dilution of 1/3 of the supernatant with the mobile phase A, because we have to maintain resolution and retention of favipiravir, remdesivir metabolites, and chloroquine. So it's very important to have a lot of water before injected in the LCMS. This slide shows the detail of LC and MS condition. So I select Shimadzu colon, Shimpac Ceptor C18 metal free. Common mobile phases, water and methanol with 0.1% of formic acid. I used flow rate of 0.5 milliliters per minute, and I used a positive mode for MS condition. So the analytical method takes just 4.5 minutes. So it's a short analytical method. This chromatogram, so we obtained this chromatogram for a concentration at 100 nanogram per milliliter for all compounds. So we can see that there is a big difference of sensitivity if we look at all the compounds. So it was maybe difficult to adjust the concentration because in mass it's different. It's different. We can see too that chloroquine and metabolites are coeluted at 1.3 minutes because of similar structure, and all the compounds are eluted before 3 minutes. So on this table, it's a summary of the concentration we set for the calibration range for each molecule, the accuracy and repeatability obtained for 3 concentrations of each molecule. So we can see that the linearity is perfect, and accuracy and precision are good. Just because of the mixing of these 9 molecules, we have to adapt the concentration range because of the difference of sensitivity. But it's possible to change concentration range if you would like to focus on less molecule, but you have to adapt the preparation sample, like more diluted, make a high dilution, or increase the injection volume or decrease. We have to adapt. But if you would like to analyze the 9 molecules, we focused on this concentration range. And if you would like to have analytical method focused on single molecule, Shimadzu has developed manual and automatic analytical method. And these two methods are concern favipiravir and remdesivir and its metabolites using Alzheimer's compound. And you will find these two applications on our website or get closer to your contact in Shimadzu if you are interested by one of them, one of these applications. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any question, don't hesitate.
I will share the result of the poll,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you can see it, but the great majority didn't analyze those compounds, so makes sense. Thanks for your participation. Hopefully you got some very interesting information from us. If you have any questions through the chat, feel free to submit them.
Yes.
Well, I don't see any questions at the moment, so I'll just we'll just give it another minute. Then in the meantime, while we see if there's any more questions coming in, I would like to thank you very much for your presentation, Fanny. And I would like to thank all the viewers for watching. So we have some more webinars scheduled for today and for tomorrow. So please join us at the next webinar from Waters, which is all about alternative COVID-19 testing through collaborations. So if you haven't registered yet for that webinar, you can do so by clicking the link below in the screen. And I will start that now. And also all these webinars are recorded. So if you like to watch it again, or if you maybe think it's interesting for your colleagues, you will be informed by the replays at the end of this week via email. Then I'll just check if there's any questions. No questions. Okay, well, then we'll just end the live broadcast here. The chat is still available. So you can still ask your questions if you like. Well, thank you very much again, Fanny, and we'll see you at the next webinar.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.